Breakfast this morning is a quiet affair, and yet, with construction next door, oh so loud. Noisy man, but bread, tomato, juice, tea. Maybe something else, who knows. I think it's pastry dough with glaze, but I'm happy. Good morning. I already said something earlier, but you couldn't see my face, so here it is. The group has decided to kind of do a few different things today. Kevin's brother is coming, and his wife and kids are coming to town to see him. So Kevin is off with them. I think John is with everyone else, but we'll go meet them in a bit. Everyone else went to the beach this morning after breakfast. I have a prodigious burn on my back, so I decided to stay out of the sun for the day. So I went just kind of wandering in the old town, which I didn't get to do a couple days ago. Just kind of making up for lost time. And I think the goal is today to find a Christmas ornament or a substitute of a Christmas ornament, which is my thing. Whenever I go somewhere, I try to find something I could put on a tree, because I like the idea of having an international gadget Christmas tree. So I'm not going to find something like that. I might go into the Aliop, which is a shop just down there that is kind of like the Spanish version of Emma, little trinkety things, and see whatever else comes up if I feel the need for any more souvenir-y things. The other goal for today, and I already know exactly where I'm going to get it, is when I was in Andorra. There's a fly on my leg. When I was in Andorra with my parents, we tasted this cheese called Idiazabal, and I fell in love with it. I loved it. Somebody's trying to take my phone. I don't know where it is in Paris. I don't even know if there is a cheese shop that sells it in Paris. Maybe there is, but it's a hassle to find it. But we're in Basque Country, so they're going to have it places. So I Googled where to buy Idiazabal, and I found, when I was Googling, I found it in a market literally underneath, one floor below where I was. So I scoped it out, I know where to go, and after I finish my shopping, I'm going to go back to the hostel and have lunch with everybody else who's currently at the beach. I think they're going to be going back relatively soon. I don't know why I looked at my wrist, there's no watch there. So I'm going to pick up some food on my way there that I'm going to eat. They're going to pick up food that they're going to eat. We're going to meet at the hostel, hang out. Megan is going to go from the hostel after lunch to the train station because she's got a bus to the Bilbao airport because she's flying back to England this afternoon. And I have no idea what the plan is this afternoon. We only got as far as lunch. Alright, here are the fruits of my shopping spree. I've got some gifts for people back in Paris. I ended up going into the, what's it called? Aliop to get, and I found a sunglasses case that I needed to get anyway, and I have a business card holder that I can't open. Hello. And I'm gonna put, cards in it, obviously. And I found a headband. That's so cute, a little headband. Yeah. And then, here's my favorite thing. I was trying to find my Christmas ornament thing. And obviously there are no Christmas ornaments out because it's August. But I've been supplementing with keychains. And I found one that looks like a fish. And I imagine it's kind of like the fish that we had yesterday. Always a sucker for a good pano view. Hi. We've come to a cultural center and looked at photography. And it was wonderful because it was air conditioned, and then we came outside and remembered how hot it is. It's like 34 degrees. Oh well. This is most likely our last sangria of the trip, and it is sadly disappointing. It tastes like red wine and a little dribble of whatever else is in sangria. It's sad face. Sad face. Ça va pas allumer. Alright, so this fire show is really cool, but this guy is pissing me off. This clapper, he's like walking around barefoot, talking to everybody. I can't with him. I can't with him. Okay, well now he's joined the show.
No one is interested. No one cares. No one cares what I'm doing. I am just balancing on my head in the centre of San Sebastian, and no one bloody cares. No one cares. No one is clapping. No one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck what I am doing at this friendly time.
Oh my god. I can't think of people that I've disliked more. Well, we've had an eventful night, I guess.
I'm gonna shit myself.
No, we know. We're heading home. We're home back to the hostel now. Megan's gone. She's actually already back in England now. We went out for, the plan was to go for dinner at a place called like Gros or Gros something. And when we got there, it was just way too full of people. So we went back to a restaurant that we'd already been to before and had to kind of like argue our way into nicer, well, convince our way into nicer seats. And then poor Nisha finally got to order something that she'd been lusting after for a few days. That was just like, when I say like brochette, it's like a kind of a kebab, but of prawns and fish and vegetables and all of that. But it's like suspended from like a hook thing, so it's like 1.5 feet above the table, hanging down. And she'd seen it the last time we went there and was enamored. So she ordered it this time, because this time we weren't sharing things, we got our own plates. And I have some like pictures of her looking at it in wonder.
What?
And then she looked closer and realized it had pesto on it. She is allergic to pine nuts. So we ended up kind of going back and forth with the waiter a little bit about like, is it pine nuts? Is there any other allergen stuff? Wasn't safe to eat in the end, so she swapped plates with Jeremy, which was he also had prawns, but it wasn't anything else, and it wasn't the cool presentation. So the rest of us had like pretty decent meals, and then we got ice cream at like our places. Nisha went back to the place that does the dip bars, and John and Jeremy and I went to like a regular ice cream place, switching arms. And then we went to the Square to have one final drink, which was, by the way, disappointing. That bar doesn't know how to do sangria. It was mostly red wine and ice, and like one slice of lemon. So can't recommend that place for, oh, suddenly my lighting got a lot better. I can't recommend that place for sangria. But the big story is, well, clips of, there was a pair of fire, I don't know if I would call them fire dancers, fire performers, but it was maybe a couple, I don't know if they're romantic, whatever, but they had these charcoal, I guess, things on the end of chains And the girl was like flipping him around in the air and all that, and the guy was basically a glorified lighter. He just kind of had like a bottle of something and he would spit it and the fire would catch on the charcoal things, then she'd flip him around, which was cool. But the crowd was like massively, well, interested. They were watching it, but they weren't like, oh my god, that's amazing. It was very like staid crowd. But there was one guy, and I'm sure he was less than sober, and he just, sorry, I'm blurry. Can I focus this? Okay. He was just in their faces, like walking up to them and kind of stumbling up like drunk white man approaching, just like kind of clapping off the beat. And he kept trying to get everybody else engaged, and it was just annoying as fuck. Sorry. And then at one point he like, well, the police came and stopped them performing because clearly they don't have like a permit to perform, especially with fire. So they started shutting down. He whips out like, I don't know, a pillow from out of nowhere and does this headstand in the middle of the square. Well, I have a clip of him just being a pain in the ass. And his whole family is behind him the whole time being like, whoa. And we were just sitting there mortified. Because, like, the fire performance was cool, but he was ruining it. And he was shouting at all of us, like, why aren't you appreciating this? Because of you, bro. So, it's a bit of a sour note to end on, but now we're going back to the hostel. We're all tired. We're all leaving tomorrow. One more time for the promenade here. There's the beach one last time. There's everybody, minus Megan. Good night.